Okay, so we're going to talk about now defending, and we'll start with defending in our attacking final third. So here we are in the final third, and now the opponent is playing out of the back. All right, and so the first principle we're going to talk about, remember these are team intentions. So we have the idea is we're trying to get everybody with the same ideas about what we're doing here. So the first one is we want to get compact, and where we want to get compact is really here in the central areas. We want to prevent balls being played through here. Now, if they play a ball into here, that's good because we have 3v1 right here immediately. So if the ball does get played in here, we have 3v1 right here. So we can attack and trap a ball in the area, middle area here. When we tucked in like this, we're actually 5v3 in the central area. So that's pretty good. And we'll talk about some other things about their 8 and the 10 in a second. But basically the first idea is get compact. And so we want the 3 and the 2 to stay marking. And of course the 4 and the 5 are going to be here, and the 6 is blocking a line forward pass here. All right. So compactness. Whatever else we do here, we'll talk about as another idea. But getting compact and getting inside first is the most important thing. All right. The second idea is that we can perform a trap on the wings. And so if we allow the ball to be played to the 4 or the 5, and we allow the ball to be played wide here, now we can actually start to do some things. So it might start out, for instance, that the 9 is here. All right, and the 11's a little bit here because we want to block this pass. I'm trying to block that. And then if the ball comes to here, we're trying to block this pass. Now the 9 has to move, basically putting a screen in front of the 6 so that that pass can't get through. But you don't want to get too deep in here because you won't be able to spring the trap. So let's say the ball's here, ball gets played out. Now we can spring the trap. So part of the trap is a run that the 7 makes to put pressure here, while the 9 puts pressure here. So now we've blocked. We're going at this pass right away. They can't get it back. So now the 3 is going to be forced to either play it forward to the 11 or play it into the 10, and that's basically where the trap happens. So the 2, seeing this, is right on top of the 11 here. Okay, pressing, possibly stepping this way. Sort of depends on where the 11 is. If the 11's wide as possible, it might be something where you're able to step in here or put pressure here. Okay, so that person's covered, marked tight, and the idea is not to be here where they can get the ball and turn, but to be really tight and be able to jump in front or put pressure on and cause them to kick the ball out. This pass doesn't work either, same reason the 10's going to be right here. So the 9's job is going to be to go from here to stop the ball from coming back this way. The 7 needs to come in sideways so they can't get to the 6. Right? Because you could see maybe where here would be one way out. And maybe there would be. So the third part of this is then everybody has to press over and pick up somebody. So if and we'll talk about marking in a second, but part of the trap is everybody shifts. Since we don't care about these players out here right now. What we care about now is trapping the ball in this area, 4v3 right here, and winning the ball back in their half of the goal in the area. Okay. This would also be the only place where if there was a ball that was passed back, so here's another idea, right? If they do get the ball here and there's some sort of an error, we can also now, with the 9 being here, let's say the 5 does come over here and they do get a ball back, well, now they're in real trouble because that's not a good ball if the 11 presses in here and the 10 presses in here. So now they're in deeper trouble. They're going to have to try to clear the ball, and now the 3 can scooch in. So we can start to shift and make it even harder for them. So we can start a high press if they back pass and if they're trapped in this corner. So so we start with the trap. If they get out of the trap, now we can high press, but we don't have to. If they like to clear the ball out, that's a whole different thing. If they're doing the things that we would do here, playing the ball to the wings, playing the ball through. Well, if they play the ball through the middle, we're going to trap them. If they play the ball through the, try to get to the wings, we're going to trap them. And if they clear the ball out, we're just going to be ready for that. Um, so we're doing the opposite, but we're making play of what we're defending the opposite of what we would be doing on our own. And so we're preparing for any one of the defending one of their things. So they decide we tuck in. They can't make a forward pass without getting into trouble, so they're going to pass wide. We pass wide. We press here. We press here, and we press here. And now we have this. If they get out here, we can double down on our pressing. The 11 can come into the box, and now we have now they're in a real trouble. All right. Cool. So that's how the trapping works. All right. And then the so we have get compact, we have trapping in wide areas, and we have high pressing. Those are the 3 main things. I would say the 4th thing here would be prepare for the long ball. And so they would also then try under pressure. They're going to try to clear the ball out. So we have a 6 who's free floating in here, who can with the two on this side and the 3 on this side. I mean, if the ball's over here, they're probably going to clear it out into this area. So we actually have pretty good numbers here: 4 against their 2, 4 against their 3, 5 against their 3. So ball out, we should win those 2. So, all right. So those are the principles. Trap wide. There's one thing specifically here for the 9. The 9's job is to make sure that they don't switch play through the 6. So again, if we're not high pressing, so 3 has the ball, but the 7's, they get the ball back into here. The 9's got to be really concerned about this pass. We don't want the ball to get in here like that. We want the to have to come back here. And so the ball resets. Everybody tucks back in again, and it's almost guaranteed that they're going to have to pick a different side or try it again, and then we're going to spring the trap again, or they're going to clear the ball up, and we're going to be ready for that too. All right. So that's defensive tactics in our final third. Let's move everybody now to the middle area and talk about tactics in the middle third. Oops. Just take that. We don't need the. Now the nice thing about the middle third is this trapping idea works here too. So same idea. 4 of the 5 are here. They have the ball. Now we're not going to try to put any pressure here because they can just play the ball back. So there's really there's no advantage here to press high unless they make an error. So the 9's here blocking the lines to the 6. 7 and 11s are tucked in, and again we're looking for the ball out. So exactly the same thing here. And of course, if they do pass it back, everybody then needs to step, right? So step up. So tactic number 1 is in the midfield area is essentially the same idea. Don't bother the 4 and the 5. Let them have the ball. Now, as they are back here, like at the 30-yard line, and maybe we're all here, we can just relax here and let them decide how they want to go. In this zone, though, we really have to be marking the 8 and the 10. So again, I didn't talk about it so much in the final third because there's the trap, the high press is a little different then. But in the middle third, we definitely our 8 and 10 have to mark their 8 and 10. Okay, and in this formation, that's easy. if for some reason, this player comes way forward and now the 8 has to go here, the 6 has to come in and mark here. So idea 1 is trapping in the midfield. Same thing. Idea 2 is the 8 and the 10 mark the midfielders and the 6. So basically between the 9, who can mark the 6 here, and our 6, we have 4 players to their 3. The key here is that if somebody leaves this area, the 6 has to step in and help out. Okay, so remember, we're pressing in 3s, right? So we have 1 here that blocks the pass. 6 has got to come in here, and the 2's here. So we have 1, 2, 3 here. And by the way, the 7 can still block this line and come in and apply pressure this way too. All right. The 9 is carrying about the 6. If the 9's too far up here, now this pass happens, and they can switch play pretty quickly, right? So again, it's really important here that we're marking the midfielders. All right. So if the 6 doesn't have anyone to mark, they're going to block the line to the 9. All right. If you go too far out of the area here and are way over here, you run the risk of the 9 checking into space and being available option here. And so again, the 6 has got to be paying attention first to look at what's in front of you here. Defending, pressing with 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now if the 9 does move forward, or I can go over like this. If the 9 does go forward into space, the 4 is going to have to step, and the 5 is going to drop in, right? And so that's a very tactical, specific thing. That's not really a team intention. So the team intention is trap wide, protect the center, get compact, trap wide. More of the individual intention is mark the midfielders, right? Mark the midfielders and make sure you always have cover. And then the 4 and the 5 at this point have to communicate on how they're marking here. All right. So that's defensive shape. Another thing about specific positions here, the part of the getting compact thing would be if the ball's over here and this is the strong side. So this is our strong side, right? And we're marking here. Let's just say, let's say we have this is actually all appropriate 3s here. The 3 can tuck in to this area. And so we have a little bit, it looks almost like a net over here, right? The 3 does not need to stay man marking out here. That person's out of play. So when the ball goes back to the middle, everyone now shifts back and resets, right? 6 comes back to here. Maybe the 9's still moving around here, so the 6 is paying attention. All right. So this is neutral. Tuck in. Let them play the ball wide. Spring the trap. All right. When the ball's on one side, we all shift over. All right. They shift over to here, and they shift in up to here. The 9 comes out. We're shifting in maybe here or here. Okay, so it's looking like this. And these people are just excluded. All right, so we shift together, we get compact, we trap wide, we shift together, and then the last thing I would say is that we prepare for the counter attack. And so, as you see, there's nobody here up top. So the rule of thumb for us will always be weak side winger goes up. So 9 is with the 6, weak side winger goes up. And so what that allows us to do on the counter attack is if we win the ball right here, or let's say we win the ball right here, whatever, now the ball can go into the 9, and the 9 knows that they can take a touch forward. Oops. Take a touch forward, and the 11's going to be there to make the run. Here, okay, maybe the run is this way, here, right? But the 11's already here. I wouldn't be here because now it's easy to see. I would be here, though, right? Weak side up. And again, the ball comes here, everybody resets, everybody relaxes, we're inside. Now the ball's over on this side, we're trapping this way, trapping this way, trapping this way. But now this weak side player goes up, right? 9 is still basically defending here in the midfield. Okay, so ball comes back out. Everybody resets over and over until we win the ball. And then again, the ball being won here. I mean, at this point, you can even have this could be, that could be the ball, right? And the seven's running in here, right? Or the ball's here to here. Maybe they're going this way and the ball's playing forward here. But the idea is that everybody in the whole team knows that the weak side wing is going to push up. All right, and I know that that's something we've talked about. All right, so those are your midfield ideas. Again, get compact, protect the central areas, man mark in the central areas, trap wide, and weak side winger goes up prepared to counterattack.